Okay, let's talk about one of the most popular houseplants ever, the African violet. I mean, look at them. With those beautiful, velvety leaves and flowers that can pop up all year round, it's no wonder we love them. But yeah, they've got a bit of a reputation for being tricky, and that can be a little intimidating, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to totally demystify their care. We're going to get your plant from just surviving to absolutely thriving. So first things first, let's bust that biggest myth right out of the gate. I love this quote from Anastasia Remeslo. They have a reputation for being fussy, but that's not really true. They just have specific preferences, and that's exactly it. They're not fussy, they're just particular. You know, the secret isn't some super complicated care routine. It's just about figuring out what they like. And once you lock that in, trust me, these plants are so rewarding. All right, so where do we even begin? Well, it honestly boils down to two golden rules. These two things are the absolute foundation for a happy African violet. It's all about getting the light and the water just right. Seriously, if you can get a handle on these two things, you are more than halfway there. You know, your plant is talking to you all the time, and its leaves, they're like its billboard, sending you the clearest messages. So the first step is to just look, really look at it. What are those leaves trying to tell you about the light it's getting? Let's figure out how to speak their language. Okay, so check this out. This shows you the two big extremes. Over on the last, that's what happens with too little light. The leaves get all thin and really dark green, the stems get long and weak, people call that leggy, and forget about flowers, it's just not gonna happen. Then, on the right, you've got the opposite problem, too much light. The leaves turn light green or even yellow, and you might see these awful scorched brown spots or burnt patches. It's literally a sunburn for your plant. So what we're looking for is that perfect sweet spot. And yeah, an east-facing window, that's the gold standard. It gives them that lovely, gentle morning sun that's not too harsh. But hey, if you don't have one, don't panic. A north-facing window is also pretty great. And if you've only got south or west windows, that's fine too. Just pull the plant back from the glass a bit or maybe hang up a sheer curtain to soften that intense afternoon sun. Easy peasy. Okay, light is sorted. Now let's tackle that second golden rule, water. And this brings us to the great debate among African violet people, top watering or bottom watering. Which one is it? Well, the secret is bottoms up. For a really happy African violet, bottom watering is almost always the way to go. Why? Because it avoids their two biggest pet peeves, getting water on their fuzzy leaves and getting the center, the crown, all soggy. Both of those can lead to rot, which we definitely don't want. So you just pop the pot in a saucer of water for maybe half an hour. Let it drink up what it needs, and, this is super important, dump out any water that's left in the saucer afterwards. Never ever let it sit in a puddle of water. So now that we've got light and water under control, it's time to build the perfect little home for your plant. Think of it this way. These next few things, the right soil, the right pot, and the right food, are what's going to turn your plant into an absolute blooming machine. First up, soil. Regular old potting mix from the store, it's just too heavy, it's too dense, and it can actually suffocate their tiny, delicate roots. What you want is a special African violet mix. It's super light and porous. Or, hey, you can even make your own. Just mix equal parts of peat moss, perlite, and vermiculite. But no matter what you use, the pot has to have good drainage holes. That part is completely non-negotiable. Now, this is going to sound a little weird, but African violets actually love being a bit cramped in their pots. They like it snug. See, if the pot is too big, the plant puts all its energy into growing a huge root system, and it totally forgets about making flowers. So here's a super simple rule to remember. The pot's diameter should be about 1/3 of the plant's total leaf span. That's it. And of course, to get those gorgeous, vibrant blooms, your plant's gotta eat. You're gonna wanna look for a fertilizer where that middle number is the highest one. That's the P for phosphorus. Something like a 15-30-15 is perfect, because phosphorus is the magic ingredient that triggers flowers. A really great way to do it is to use a very weak, diluted dose every single time you water. That gives it a nice steady stream of food. Okay, let's be real. The blooms are why we're here, right? We all want those flowers. And what's amazing is that when they're happy, these plants can bloom pretty much all year long. So if yours isn't blooming, don't freak out. It's just the plant's way of telling you that one of its basic needs isn't quite being met. So let's do a quick troubleshooting session. So here's your checklist, the top 5 reasons for no blooms. Number 1, by a long shot, is not enough light. That's almost always the culprit. But all the other things we've talked about are in the running too. Watering wrong, not enough fertilizer, or yep, that pot being too big. And here's another big one, low humidity. They come from a humid place, so they love moisture in the air. A simple trick is to group your plants together or put the pot on a tray of pebbles with a little water in it. It makes a world of difference.
All right, so once you've got your plant happy and flowering, we move on to lifetime care. This is all about simple grooming to keep it looking gorgeous, and the really fun part, we're talking about how to make more plants for free, so you can grow your collection or give them away to your friends.
This, to me, is one of the most magical things about African violets. You can literally grow a brand new plant from one single leaf. It's amazing. Just follow these easy steps. You cut a healthy leaf, plant the stem, but the absolute key, the thing that makes it all work, is covering it with a plastic bag. You're creating a tiny personal greenhouse to keep the humidity way up. Then you just wait. And in about 4 to 8 weeks, you'll see these little baby plantlets popping up. It is so cool to watch.
Of course, sometimes things still go a little sideways. But don't worry, this little chart is your go-to for quick fixes. And check this out. If you see your plant wilting, what's your first thought? It needs water, right? But with these guys, wilting is usually a sign of overwatering and root rot, so you gotta check the soil first. And what about those ugly brown spots on the leaves? That's just from getting splashed with cold water. This chart makes it super easy to see the problem and know exactly what to do.
And I've got one last pro tip for you. This one is so simple, but it makes a huge difference in how your plant looks. You know how plants always lean towards the window? Well, to stop that from happening, just give your pot a little quarter turn every week or so. It's that easy. This helps it get light evenly on all sides, and you'll end up with this beautiful, round, symmetrical plant instead of a lopsided one. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that with just a little bit of understanding, an African violet isn't a fussy plant you'll have for a few months. Not at all. It's a perennial that can live for decades, 50 years, even more. People pass these down through their families. So once you nail these basics, you're not just growing a plant anymore. You're taking on a companion that could seriously be with you for life. So, are you ready for that?